Welcome to the Q&A session with Pastor Victor Asuquo.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Okay, welcome to the Q&A session with Pastor Victor Asuquo. We are happy to have this session hosting our lead pastor. So we want to welcome Pastor Victor Asuquo. Good evening, sir.
Thank you. Good evening.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me on this Q&A session.
You're welcome, sir. Yes, it's a joy to have you answer questions that is in our hearts and give clarity by the help of the Holy Ghost to any questions. Okay, so thank you so much, sir, for honoring the invitation to be here. Okay, brethren and online viewers that is watching us right now. So we are going to be receiving questions, and this session is a session for you to ask any kind of questions, all right? Be it on scriptural basic, be it on relationship, be it on education, be it on finance, any kind of question you would like Pastor Victor Asuquo to give an answer to by the wisdom of God that is bestowed upon him. So I want you to start sending your question even as we go right into this very session. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to be asking a very first questions. But before then, let me tell you, you can send your question through any of our social media platform. You can send it on our WhatsApp page if you are there. You can send it on the comment section right here. You can send it through our Instagram, anywhere you want to send it. And if you check the flyer too, we have numbers that there. You can also send us SMS, all right, to us. Okay, we're going right into this. Okay, Pastor Victor, thank you once again, sir.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, sir, our first question we got earlier today was, okay, so the world is going into the tech era where every sector is trying to shape everything they're doing into tech, like even the educational sector, everybody, even the financial sector, they're trying to just push it. And I think, like, I remember one time you spoke about the I think the future wealth, and you mentioned that tech is part of it. And then, people are diving into this thing, even if we know that tech is not that new, but we are coming into the awareness more. So we want to hear your part on this thing. Do you think, as a young person that is desiring to get into this sector, do you think the person needs to have a passion before the person goes into this section or sector, or the person can just venture into it and just learn something? What do you think, sir?
All right. So, firstly, I would want to say that it's important that we are able to track the move of the economic system that governs, maybe our geographical location, our country, where we are. It will give us this edge to know what to do at what time. It will give us this edge to know what to do at what time, and it will help us to also stay ahead of the system, right?
Yeah.
So it was in 2000 and I think it was in 2019 that I personally had, but for me it was more spiritual than physical, because I didn't really know so much about entrepreneurial aspect of business or tech whatsoever, But then and one of the things the Lord imparted into my heart, into my spirit, was to show me a vision of 2025, the economic shift in Nigeria. And one of the things he said in that economic shift was that the economy of Nigeria was going to be tilting towards entrepreneurship, and the major chunk of the economy was going to be resting on entrepreneurs, people who had, who were able to. I don't want to start having to explain entrepreneurship, right? But then entrepreneurship is basically a structure, a system that allows you sell or offer your service to more than one person. So it doesn't really necessarily mean maybe having a business as per selling something online or whatever. Whether you are a banker, you can also be a banking entrepreneur, right? As long as you can provide those services to more than one audience, to more than one client, to more than one people, you are an entrepreneur, right? So because you know now that that's where the world is arriving at, I believe that if you want to be strategic with what you are doing, you should be able to take advantage and leverage on that information and arrive there even before the world arrives there, right? So that flexibility makes it easy for you to prosper in every time and in every season. We're saying this in respect to our understanding as believers, right? So one of the proofs that you'll be able to prosper in all season is your ability to be flexible to the different the dynamics of the season, the dynamics of the economics, right? As long as the Lord gives you release, do you understand that you're able to adjust? And sometimes you may not have passion for it, sometimes you may not like what you're doing, sometimes you may not even love what you're doing, but because you understand the place this thing has in the puzzle of the big picture, you are able to put yourself in that position to do them. And as time begins to go on, as long as that thing can solve a problem, I bet you, if you are a person of value, you are problem solving driven, right? If that is put in a better context, right? If you are oriented by, or you are passionate about solving problems, with time, because that thing is solving a problem, you will find your passion involved. For example, I began a tech skill in 2019, and I can tell you, I didn't see the tech journey as a profession or as a career. I just saw it as a means to help my church, because at the time my church wanted to make good designs, but we could not make good designs. So I said, okay, what we're going to do is so we'll employ people, get people to make designs for us, and it will take them forever. And so one day I asked myself, what is difficult to learn in this thing? What if I learn this thing? Am I not going to become better? Am I not going to do it even better? Basically, it was because I wanted to serve my ministry. Do you understand that? And I started it. But years down the line, I'm seeing a career path, I'm seeing a profession, I'm finding a niche in that. But it didn't start out like that. But when I began to observe that it was beginning to solve a problem, I began to find a sense of purpose, define meaning in it. Are you following me? So beyond just trying to get things done now, I do it because there is a problem it is solving. It is defining my place in the ecosystem of the tech world. Do you follow me? So I believe that that's what is going to be that's what's going to be the foundation and the inspiration for many of us who wants to delve into this. At first, you might not find the passion. At first, you might not get. And I don't want to don't limit it to tech alone. I think you should talk about the digital global space, because the digital space is not limited to just technology, because technology differs. There's artificial technology and there are other fields of technology. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying to you. So it's not limited to maybe computer. I don't know if I'm making any sense. It's not limited to computer. Are you following that? We have other platforms that you can leverage on. So when you hear tech, don't just think of maybe, for example, now content writing is a digital skill too. Do you understand that? Because you can leverage it on a digital platform. Hope you also know that tailoring can also be a digital skill.
Yes.
Yes. Because once you can upscale something into a digital space, it becomes a digital skill.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Very well.
All right, so that's it.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so viewers, if you picked what Pastor Victor said, all right. So if you are thinking of going into the digital space, then, or maybe you don't have a passion yet, you don't even know what to do. For example, maybe you want to pick graphic design and you don't even feel you have passion in it. You can go into it, and even as you journey into it, and you can solve a problem, you can do this thing, and you can meet needs and all that. Then by doing that, you're going to be getting your niche, and you can now stand in your place in the digital space. Okay. All right. So moving on, we're going to be picking the next question from Peter Mary. Mary sent a question, and the question is there a way we can navigate disagreement with our loved ones in a way that honors God? So,
is there a way we can navigate disagreements with loved ones in a way that honors God? Okay. Now, one thing about being with people and living with people is that sometimes you will not agree, right? You would disagree on different grounds for different reasons, and that's because even if you are siblings, even if you are blood related, our experiences differ. Although we may have the same upbringing, but our experiences differ. As we begin to find our place in the world, as we begin to find our place in the outside world, you realize that our experiences becomes different. Our mistakes differ, our success, our strides, and the rest of all those things. So because excuse me, now because we are living with people with different experiences, different stories to tell, different upbringing, and the rest of all that, there could be disagreement. So I want to put these loved ones under all the levels of relationship, whether blood related, because your loved ones are not limited to blood relations, right? So how can you navigate disagreement? Okay, first of all, the truth is God wants us to be able to find a balance in the face of these disagreements if we must productively work together, because scripture says that two cannot work together except they agree. So that agreement becomes the common ground for us to be able to impute our efforts into the same system that allows us even do much more, right? So God wants us to navigate those disagreements and find a place of balance. Are you following me? So, but one of the things that makes it easy for us to be able to navigate disagreement is to not focus on our differences, but to focus on what unites us, the common ground. Do you understand that? Focus on the common ground. And I must say that it will have to take two people to be able to navigate a disagreement to come to a balance. It will have to take two people agreeing to do that. Like if you are willing to come into an agreement, a balance in that school of thought, the other person is not willing to, I fear that there might not be an agreement. So I want to believe that these two people have that common interest. And that common interest is that they want to find a balance. All right. So you are saying something about money. You are saying that money is the root of evil, right? Now I am saying that the love of money is the root of evil, right? That's the disagreement. That's the misunderstanding, right? So we must be able to, if I focus on the difference is clear. You said that the money is the root of all evil. I said the love of money. They're not the same thing. You follow me now? But now the common ground here in this disagreement is that we are both seeing that money is important.
Yeah.
So we can start out with that to say that, okay, since you are saying that money is important, I'm saying that money is important. Can we start off on that note? First of all, to say that, okay, if you say money is the root of all evil, Then if you say money is important and then having money becomes the root of all evil, can you explain that? You begin to realize that because we have a common ground, you hear things like, when I have money, I can do wrong things, I can go wrong places, I can do the bad things I want to do. Then you will now see that there's an agreement there somewhere. You see that, okay, that means it is not money that changed you.
Yeah.
Money only revealed you.
Yeah.
So it means that money was a tool to be able to achieve that thing that was in your mind. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So
yes.
By the time we start thinking in that direction, realize that in a way, though we have said two different things, but in a way, because of that common ground, what we are saying have an intersection somewhere. Right? And the willingness for me to be able to see things through your lens, understand things how you understand this, also makes it easy for me to not be selfish with my opinion, but to adopt to what you have to say, and we both come to an agreement. So we can both now agree that, first of all, money doesn't change anybody. Money only reveals the actual nature of a person. We come into an agreement that everybody needs money. Money is important in everybody's life. And then we now further come to an agreement to understand that money is a tool and not a goal. So by the time we come into this, we now realize that there's actually more that unites us than what differentiates us. I don't know if I'm making any sense. All right. So in summary, I'm saying that one of the best ways to be able to navigate disagreement and to in a way that pleases God is to find a common ground. Now, if that other person is not willing to find a common ground with you, you can do that alone. So you be the peacemaker. For example, I have an issue in the family and my older sister or my older sibling is demanding some level of respect and all that from me, maybe talking to me in a certain way. Now, the difference is I don't like how she's talking to me. Because she's older doesn't mean she should talk to me like that. That's fact. That's true. She's thinking that she can talk to me like that because she's older than me. These are the differences. So if we stay on these, we'll see more reasons to fight. So I have to now see the common ground. What is the common ground? Number one, we are siblings. Number two, she's actually older than me. So I can choose to just keep quiet and let peace reign. I don't know if you understand that. So I think that counts for something.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Pastor Victor. Okay, so I'm sure Peter Mary's question was answered. So we're going to be taking the next question. If you're just joining us, welcome. This is a live session with Pastor Victor Asuquo, and is a session where, by the mercies of God and the wisdom of God that is bestowed upon him, he'll be answering any questions that you want an answer to. So ensure you type your questions and send them through the comment sections. You can send them via any of our social media platforms to get answers to the questions. Okay, so we're going to be waiting for your questions. Please send your questions so you can get clarity on the matters. Okay, so the next question, Pastor. All right. So another question we have is, in the world where we have family members that are not together. You just spoke about something that has to do with agreement. So in the world where we have family members that are not together, they are apart, and you are trying to get everybody together, even if you know fully well that everybody now have their space. Everybody's feeling like, I'm an adult, so I should do whatever I want. Everybody just want to do their thing. Already, there is no unity, right? So, what if somebody, like an individual now arises from the family and say, okay, I want these people to come together, and the person is trying to do it in ease or the way the person thinks is going to go well, and the effort avails to nothing? What would you say to the person? Or what advice would you give that maybe the person is not taking the right steps, or how do you think the person can pull everybody together?
All right, so the same school of thought when it relates to working with people, right? It takes two people to tango, right?
Yeah.
It takes two to tango. We can't draw the conclusion from one person's end, right? Now, many of the times, I think you should learn this also. Things you don't teach your children from the family, while they are growing up, becomes much more difficult to teach them
Exactly.
after they become mature and adults, because foundation is the bedrock of every building. So once the foundation is destroyed, scripture says that what will an upright man do? Right? So it's important, first of all, to correct all those dysfunctionalities, start teaching. And one of the things this question is actually I'm very passionate about it, because I am big on unity in the family. Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
I'm very big on what?
Unity.
On unity in the family. Because I've seen that people can do so much more. I've seen that people can do so much more when their hearts are together. I've seen that people can achieve so much more when they are united. It was in Genesis when the guys were building a tower to get to heaven. And when God was having a conversation with himself, he said that, seeing that these people are in one mind and they imagine the same thing, let us now go therefore to distort what they are doing. If not, they will not be stopped. So even God reckoned with the fact that once a people can be united to see one thing, they have one vision, they imagine the same thing, they can't be stopped. They may be delayed for a while, but they can't be stopped, right? So these are one of the values we should be able to teach and extend to our children, family members, relatives, and the rest of all that. Unity in the family should not be compromised. And by that I don't mean that everybody has to live in one place. No, because we're making progress, at a point we may not be in the same state, we may not even be in the same country, but we know better that it is not distance that separates people.
Yes, sir.
It is the lack of effective communication. Right? So what I would say to the person who is trying to bring everybody together is that sometimes you might not get everybody together at the same time. Aim for your siblings one after the other. You might not be able to get everybody at the same time. You have 5 siblings, aim for them one after the other. Right? You might get 2, start with that 2. You might get 3, start with that 3. You might not be able to get everybody together, because growing up, I don't want to go through the old process of people, seeing themselves as self-dependent. And that's one thing about this unity. It makes you feel like you can do more alone. So you see a family, the first child, the third child, the fourth child, everybody just focuses on their own. Why? Because everybody has a story of how they had to survive by themselves. When I was in school, nobody paid for my school fees. So why do I have to pay for somebody's school fees? Please, everybody should do you understand that? You grow up in a house where nobody tells the other person, what are we going to eat? Everybody just wakes up and they go out. When they go out, you just know that the guy is coming back. That guy has just finished eating. As the girl is coming back, that girl sometimes they won't bring food back home and you dare not touch the food.
Yes.
So that's one of the side effects of disunity. It makes you think that you can do so much alone. And that's not what scripture says. The Bible says 2 is better than what? Than 1. Now when they say 2, people now say, they said 2 good heads are better than 1. Now that's a different concept entirely. You're talking about maybe intelligence and the rest of it. That's needing 2 good heads. When scripture says 2 is better than 1, it's talking about in a direction where 2 people are set to go on a journey, right? Or in a task that they are set to fulfill, right? 2 is better than 1. He said because Because he said, because when one fails or falls, he said the other will do what? Will stretch forth his hands to help that one. He's saying that because when one will produce 1,000, the other one will be able to produce, both of them together combined, to be able to produce 10,000. So what he's trying to say is that the law of multiplication is collaboration.
Yeah.
You get?
Yes.
The law of multiplication is collaboration. That's why in the beginning God said, let us make man. You see that there's always that partnership idea that God has. There's always that collaboration idea that God has. He says, if you will not push away these words that you have heard today and you believe in your heart, he says you will be saved. So there is this invitation, the earnest expectation of the world, I wait for the manifestation of the sons of God. There's this corporate mindset. He has made us to become partakers of his divine nature. There's a corporate mindset God has because he knows that the bedrock of multiplication is what? Is partnership and collaboration. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes,
so it's important that people know that. So the best way to go about it is to aim for one first. When they see what two people can do, God can touch their heart. See what three people can do. See what, but if you're trying to get everybody at the same time, you might be wrong. You might be wrong. You might be doing too much. You might be asking for too much, and it'll be too much to handle. So I think you can just focus on, individual relatives, and until you can get the whole house together.
Okay, thank you, sir. So this, the answer you just gave to this also applies to any other friendship or any other relationship. Let's say group work or any other setting, right?
Yes.
All right.
Sometimes working with a team and trying to get everybody, especially when there's a disagreement, there's a misunderstanding, there's a misconception, it's most times very difficult.
Yeah.
So instead of you to, wear yourself out, start with one person. Many of the times when they see what two of you can do, it makes them feel like, are you sure we're even doing the right things? Everybody understands result. Result is a language that everybody understands.
Yes.
So once they see what you people can do, I tell you, because they can't beat you, they will join you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. Moving to the next question. So someone asked a question on the comment section, sir. And the question is, please, sir, in this 21st century, is it okay for someone to choose a career based on what he or she loved or has the capacity to do, or based on what the economy demands? I think Pastor already answered this question somehow from the first question we had, but would you want to say something to
Okay.
sir?
Let me see. All right, let me see how to answer that. It said, is it possible, right?
Yes.
Is it possible for somebody to
choose a career,
path,
yes,
based on what
he or she loved,
can do,
or has capacity, or based on what the economy demands?
based on what the economy demands? All right. Now, a career path is different from a survival plan.
Okay.
I'm talking generally now. I'm not talking as believers. We have survived already.
Hallelujah.
I don't know if you get that now.
Hooray.
God.
Hooray.
So I'm talking to the general world. A career path is different from a survival plan. Sometimes your career path is not always your survival plan. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Now, because we tend to pick career paths based on our abilities, our place of strength. You get, not sometimes necessarily our place where we can meet a need. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes, sir.
So, but the question of survival asks you a place where you can make a need, where you can meet a need, rather, where you are needed. But a career path can tell you, do something that you love to do something that works for you, right? But on the second thought, a Okay, let me just go straight to the point, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the bait. This is the bait. Now, it's important for us to understand that it's not wrong to study what you love.
Yeah.
It's not wrong to study what you love. It's not wrong to do what you love to do. There's nothing wrong about that. Do you understand that? Because it gives you a sense of fulfillment, a defined purpose. It is beautiful, right? But you must also understand that sometimes what you love to do is not what is required for survival. And because God has made it so that we can be everything we want to be, it's the society that puts a price tag on you. It is the society that defines you. It is the society that says, because you are a pastor, you can't be a banker.
Yeah.
It's the society. It's the society that says that because you are a musician, you can't own a school. It's the society that says that because you are a doctor, you cannot have time to be a shoe cobbler. It's a society that says that because you are a lawyer, you can't be a comedian because you have to be serious. But we have seen that over time, evolution has begun to take place. People are beginning to metamorphose and change into different forms of what they envision themselves becoming. Yeah. People are wearing different hats now. You can be jack of all trade and master of all. I bet you. You know, before we used to say you don't want to be the jack of all trade and master of none. I bet you can be the master, jack of all trade and master of all. Everything you can. That is real. That is true. That is tangible. You cannot limit yourself. You know, I remember few weeks ago, somebody had mentioned to me that they don't like a particular person. And why they don't like a particular person is simply because it looks like this person is doing so much. This person is doing too much. This person is doing this, is doing this, is doing that, is doing this, is doing that, is doing that, and that, and that, and that. And I laughed. I said, why don't you like the person? Because it looks like this person is just everywhere. And I was almost going to ask the person, what's your problem with somebody being everywhere? What's your problem?
Right.
As long as the person is doing well at what the person is doing, you don't have a problem. So here is the cut. Here is the gist. Here is the bait. You can start out with doing everything until you find that one thing that becomes your niche.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't start out defined. Sometimes you don't start out with a defined niche. Sometimes you don't start out knowing what you want to do. Sometimes you start out trying every other thing. So don't buy into the lie that you can't do everything. Just find what you really want to do and go for it. You will take a longer time to discover it. And there are many people who have been on the derail lane just because they have been waiting to look for that particular thing. Start. Sometimes it is in the journey and in the process of doing many things that you find that one thing that defines you, that one thing that defines a sense of fulfillment, purpose, divination, something that is beyond you. You can start out as a banker, as an entrepreneur, as a marketer, as an AI instructor, a graphics designer, a content creator, a comedian. You can do everything until you find your niche. There's nobody. You see, you can be everything you want to be. Say it to yourself.
I can be everything I want to be.
Say it again.
I can be everything I want to be.
Say it again.
I can be everything I want to be.
I bet you can be. Don't let the society define you. I can be. Do you know me? I had a problem coming out to identify with the fact that I'm a graphic designer because I was a pastor. And you know what the society says about pastors.
Yes, sir.
You know what the society says about prophets. Once it looks like you are because being a graphic designer, you have to be up to date with innovation, things that are happening, and then and I knew that if I have to start creating content on social media, I'll have to do things that are in vogue. I'll have to pay attention to what is happening in the social media space. And so imagine me coming to create a content as a pastor, and I'm doing, what is it? Haven't you done enough? Do you know that is it? Do you know that alone can make people redefine me?
Yes.
And say, imagine this man has so much time.
Yes, sir.
To be watching videos and he's getting all these things. Come on, this is not a man of God. This is some business person. Meanwhile, I have a career path that is different from my call to purpose and destiny. And sometimes a career path is what you love to do, right? I can love to give visual solutions to digital problems, to visual problems. I love effective digital or visual effective communication. I love to solve problems within that space. I love to help businesses grow. I love to help businesses develop strategies towards growth, towards resilience, towards building a long-lasting business legacy name. I love to talk. I love to go for conferences and have effective communications. I love to stand up to podiums and speak as a business strategist, business analyst, a brand identity consultant. I love to be all that. But now I have to fight the societal, mindset that a pastor cannot be a pastor and still be a business consultant. So for a long years in my life, this is the first time I'm sharing this in the public space. I started graphic designing in 2019. I became out there in 2022 for the first time. So for this first space of 3 to 4 years of my journey in graphic designing, I was hiding. What will people say? What will people say that a pastor has time to design? A pastor is creating content on business platforms. Do you understand that? What will people say? Until God began to show me that if I have not limited you, nobody should limit you. Except God is telling you, don't do this one. Focus on this. But if God has not limited you, I bet you. Today we are seeing things. Pastors are fashion, what they call them? These people that are like the face of fashion brands.
Yes, sir.
Ambassadors, right?
Yes.
The fashion ambassadors. They are models, that's the word. They're models. Today we have seen pastors. I know them, I can't mention them on social media platforms. Some of you know them. Pastors that are fashion ambassadors for fashion brands.
Yes, sir.
They're coming out, you are seeing them on magazines, and they are pastors. Dressing and looking all nice and all kitted up. They are pastors. Who told you you cannot be a pastor, you cannot be a prayer warrior and still be a doctor? Who told you you cannot finish a surgical operation and still be holding prayer sessions online? Who told you that? What makes you feel like when they know you are a pastor, it's going to change how they see you? It's going to just change. You can be that. Who told you you can be a believer and not be a comic person and not be a comedian? Who told you that? And you can be in church and not write songs? Who told you that? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying to you. Who told you that as a lawyer? We see today different lawyers. They are lawyers, but they are comedians. And look at, they have a career path though, but the means of survival was being a comedian, creating contents online. And when it is a time to judge a case, bring a case to them, they will take you to court and they will defend you as a lawyer. They can still practice what gives them joy, what gives them excitement, but they understand that there is a game for survivors. I knew that if I stayed in ministry and not did graphic designing, I would have ended up a scammer as a pastor. Because hunger would have dealt with me, lack would have dealt with me so much that I would change my gospel and change my message and change everything to milking money from people. So God showed me a survival plan. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. God will not just tell you godly content is great gain when He has not given you what to be contented in. Imagine a limited God. Today, the ministry that I run He's doing great things and mighty things, not because people from outside supported the ministry, even though people did. But I can tell you, I was one of the foundational people who pumped in finance into the ministry.
Yes, sir.
So today, nobody can say that the ministry made him. Because we can look at the ministry and we can count our supplies and say, look at, we made certain things happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm...
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm saying that you can be both. Don't choose one. Don't say, oh, can I choose a private car that I love and something in the economy? Do both. Sometimes you start out with what is the survival so that you can have enough resources and go back to what you love to do. For example, now some of those comedians today, if they stop to create content today, some of them they may never be poor for the next 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
As long as all those other things they have done are out there. Because one thing about content creation is that your money it's never outdated. You see people watching 10 years of your video, a 5 years ago video, and you are making money now in today. So people don't even need to make more videos again based on the number of videos they've made before. For example, Uncle Steve, Steve Harvey, some of his videos, some of his stuff that he has done, all you need to do is just keep watching most of them. Sometimes I go there and I just while away time and enjoy and learn new things and just adopt new things. And they are paying him. If he doesn't do new things now, he's one that does this Family Feud, and all that. So if he doesn't do new things now, host these things now, all these contents online there are paying him already on a regular. Now he can, if he wanted to be a doctor now, or if he had a doctorate degree, he can go back to being a doctor now in peace. So you have to be smart. If you know that your career path is not going to create a survival path for you, put it one side or do it on a low key. Then set out to do what is going to help you with the survival path. And then when you get on that survival path and you make the bag and you cash out the money, go back to doing what you love.
Okay.
Do you know that? So there's going to come a time I know I will not be at the fore of tech, because I have to go back to what I love to do. I love to preach to people. Do you understand that? I love to pray for people. I love to spend time with Jesus. But if we do that, if that's all we do while we are growing up, oh my God. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
There will be problems. We have to do that and also open ourselves to a survival path, a survival plan. I might not be using the best words as a survival plan, but remember I was talking to you, I was saying that I'm not talking to you just as a believer, I'm talking to you as somebody who is in the world. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying to you, but there's going to come a time that with so much investment, I will make so much resource that I can pull out from interfacing as a frontier. Do you understand that? Put people there, and then I can withdraw, and then I can focus on what I have. But by that time, the ministry would have grown so big, the work would have been too much. I can't shuffle this and shuffle that at the same time. But I wish young people can learn these things that I'm saying. It will help them. I tell you the truth. It will help them. So don't waste your time trying to look for what is going to make her. And then when you do that, come back and go and that thing you want to learn, come back and go and broadcast. Come back and go and do this. Do you understand? I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, sir. Wow. That was so powerful. Thank you so much, Pastor Victor.
So I think I need to just emphasize again.
Okay.
Right? Sorry. See, you can do everything.
Yeah, I wanted to emphasize on that.
You can be a cook. You love to cook. Be a cook and still be a fashion designer.
Yes, sir.
And still be a stand-up comedian. And still be an MC host. I don't know if you get that. You can be everything. Today we see pastors today. I can mention them. They are pastors and yet they are business consultants. They are talking in every platform. It is more beautiful that we can find believers in those places, in those areas, because they will represent the values of the kingdom well. You know, the likes of the Williams.
Yeah.
You know, so these are people who are believers. Or he's a comedian. He does comic videos, Are you telling me that when he goes to preach, people will not take him seriously? He understands that, see, his passion is to, but then he had to do comedy, do movie, make the money.
Yeah.
Today he has established it. And don't be rigid in court with your survival plan. Be flexible. You can start out as a comedian and you make more money, and then before you know, you open a refinery. Don't say, I did not study petroleum. See, many people today who are doing the things they are doing today, I can bet you many of them do not have qualifications in those things.
Okay.
I heard a background story, and I will not say some things because we are online. I heard a background story of a billionaire who is in charge of the construction of a certain project, and it's a Christian project. And I got to hear the background story that the man's story is that man did not study anything around construction.
Okay.
But it is his construction company that is handling that church project. Billions of naira. But he didn't study it. He doesn't have a certification in that. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So don't box yourself. Don't limit yourself.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, please don't box yourself. Do not limit yourself. What a deliverance, I would say, to, I'm sure every young person there or everyone out there that felt depressed because you've heard people talk you down, that you're doing everything, you are just moving from one place to another. I'm sure by now you are strengthened because you just need to continue doing what you're doing until you find a niche. Yes. Thank you so much, Pastor. Okay. Once again, for people that are just joining us, we have extra persons. Thank you for joining us.
And you can tell us where you are joining us from.
Yes,
Your
please let us
state,
know.
your country.
Please let us know where you're joining us from. Okay, so this is a live session with Pastor Victor Asuquo, and then you can send in your question from any part, from relationship, from scriptural basis, from education, any part you want Pastor Victor to talk about. Through the grace of God and the wisdom of God that is bestowed upon him, is going to give you answers to it. Okay, so we have another question. The comment section is on fire. Yes. Okay, so another question, Pastor. So someone asked and says, when people get offended by someone, must they go through the process of telling the person who offended them, or can they just let the offense go, making excuses for the offenders?
Yeah, you can do both. You can do both. First of all, if somebody has offended you and you don't think that offense is going to affect how you see the person, you can choose to just let it go and move on. But if this is somebody you have a close relationship with, or something will always bring you people together, and you observe that this person does this thing repeatedly,
Okay.
and it's a problem to you, that person may not even know that that thing is affecting you in any way. So if you always keep forgiving and not talking about it, you'll always keep coming back to that place of having to forgive again, having to forgive again. The best you can do is to just talk to the person about it. That I don't know how I feel about this, but most of the times when you do this, it affects a part of me, and I think we can, do you understand that? Just find a way to resolve it. That will make it easy. So the person is sensitive to know that, oh, this thing doesn't go well with you, even though I'm okay with it. So the person will be able to make adjustments. That saves you the stress of, or because at a point, there's a way you forgive. At a point, when it becomes like, when your heart becomes too much overweight with that thing, it can burst.
Yes.
So in order to not even get into that, have those discussions.
All right. That was simple. Thank you so much, Sam.
Yes.
The next question. A situation whereby you were sent to school to study a particular course and you ended up not doing it as a profession, and then you got into something that is okay for you. How do you convince your parents, making them feel that their money is not a waste?
Well, because of the age and time our mothers and parents came from, it's difficult for them to be able to connect certain things to what we are doing. Now, I'm going to explain that personally. And I don't know why. Maybe it's the spirit of the Q&A. I seldomly share personal things. But I think I'm sharing very sensitive things that I may not have been able to share in a long time, many years.
Thank you, sir.
All right, yeah. So I remember in when I finished school, when I finished school, I I was I learned how to play the instrument. That I started learning how to play the piano. And then when I finished school, I got in contact with somebody, and I loved the saxophone, and I loved to play the saxophone. So I learned the saxophone, and my parents were like, ah, which one is saxophone that you're learning again? Learn the saxophone. At the time, I was still writing UTME exam to get into the university. So I'll write exam, and one I would be like, this thing is a distraction to you. This thing is a distraction to you. Why not focus on school? Why not just focus on getting into school? Which one is this? Which one is this saxophone that you are having? This saxophone that you are holding? Like, can you not just leave this thing and focus on school and all that? It was my passion, but they didn't understand that. Do you understand? So I decided to, at a point I was learning it. When they saw that they couldn't discourage me enough. Do you understand? I was learning it. That time I didn't have the saxophone. I had access to a ministry. At that time I think I was a music director, so I could have access to their ministry, to their saxophone. So I was using it. And after a while I left the ministry and I lost access to the saxophone. So now I started working. I started fending for myself in a small way, and I was already either at the verge of being in school or in school already. So I now told my parents that I want to buy an equipment. I want to buy something. And what I want to buy for myself as an investment was a saxophone. And they looked at me. Saxophone? I said yes. And at that time, saxophone was quite a lot of money. I think it was around 60,000 or so. And at that time, that was a lot of money. Trust me. For a young boy, 60,000 naira was a lot. So she said, why do you want to buy saxophone? Like, what's the importance? You just be blowing something. Do you know how many persons that had stomach problem because they were blowing? I said, this is not trumpet. Trumpet requires more energy than even a saxophone. This one, you just use this part of your mouth to blow it, not really from your tummy, not from your belly. Do you understand? I just tried to explain. He said, no, you want to develop sickness. The one you have fallen sick before, that Jesus helped you, is not enough. Parents are worries, and their worries are legit because they can't see the future. If they could see the future, it would have been easy for them. But they are also as helpless as you are. Right? So it got to a point where they discouraged me enough. And that time I was going to school, and funny enough, there was this, in quotes, there was this prophecy that when I get to school, so something will happen that will expose me to a wrong gang, wrong people, and the rest of all that. So they were now scared. They were like, don't do anything that will now bring people's attention to you. Playing sax and all that, people will know you because they will want you for events, this and that and all that. Do you know that's how they killed that passion? And I never got a sax until today. Never had the opportunity to play one. So later on, I decided to, God now exposed my mind to designing, so I needed to get a laptop. So I told them that I want to buy a laptop. They said, what is all this? You have talked about saxophone before. Now you're talking about laptop. Are you not going to go to school? Are you not going to focus on school? Do you understand that? Are you not just going to come out? You said you are doing mechanical engineering. So what concerns mechanical engineering and laptop? I said I want to do graphics. What is graphics? Okay. They discouraged me, said everything in this world. And at that time, to get a laptop was about 50,000. And we're not really financially stable. So it took me a long time. I think for 5 months, I was trying to gather 50,000. At the end of the day, I was able to only gather 25. I borrowed the remaining 25. That it took me over 5 years to pay, 3 years to pay. So, but against all their discouragement, I went to buy the laptop. I got it because I knew what I wanted. Do you understand? But it wasn't easy for me to convince them. So what I did was this: you want me to go to school, bar? You want me to come out as a graduate, bar, and study mechanical engineering, bar? I went there, did everything, wrote jam well, got into school, and I was designing. Do you know that I was doing what they wanted me to do? That's the part of me they were seeing, right? But I was also grinding, learning skills, and getting better, and the rest of all those things. Now, it's very important that we know that because they don't know and they can't see what we are saying. I was telling them that, see, this thing is going to give us money. I've seen this thing. The world is becoming digital. Let me do this thing. Let me do this. 1 year after, they started seeing the money I was making from it. I think at that time I paid some fee for something about 200 and something K. Something. It was like a joke. A relative needed money for something and they called her. They were like, they need money. They don't know. This was. I said, how much do you need? Around 200,000. In less than 24 hours, I gave them the money. Do you know that before now, every time they see me on laptop, they will say, look at you, your mates are working, you are just here with laptop, doing nothing. Or every time they see me with my phone, pressing my phone, doing nothing. The day they started seeing results, money started coming. They're the one that started asking me, you will not charge your laptop. I'm not joking. No. Before that time, anytime I hold my phone, they will say, look at you, your phone, this one, every day, every night, your phone, you will not read phone. When I started meeting needs and meeting bills and paying stuffs, I paid for things, I paid. And I was a young boy. They knew, man, this guy's finance had changed. I paid so much that sometimes they just call me and they just want me to be nice to people. I don't know if you can just send money to this person.
Okay.
So when they see me now, that time with phone, they will say, oh, you are working. You say, let me not disturb you. Even if I was just watching a video. Do you know that it got to a point where my parents sat me down one day and said, do you know that thank God you did not hear our voice? Oh.
Okay.
Now imagine the school you went to, which heads? The school that every other people have gone to, which head? Even your siblings that are graduates, and you understand that? Which head? It is this thing you are doing that has given us what to eat, has given us a name before people, has given us a voice before people. Imagine you heard us and you were discouraged. A couple of years later, I was going to spend over $500,000 for gadgets alone. And when I told them the money, I told them the plan and everything, they didn't cough. They didn't say, $500,000, you can go and buy land in Sambisa. You can go and do. They knew that if this guy invests into these tools that brings him money, it's going to give him much more money. I'll wake up at night, are you listening to me?
Yes.
And I'll be sleeping, and my parents will go and charge my laptop for me when there's light. So you see what I'm saying? Today now, they're enjoying it. They're benefiting from it. I'm a graduate, studied mechanical engineering, but then I don't find a niche there. I find a niche here. And guess what? This thing started producing money even before I graduated. They didn't pay, no family member paid. Okay, some people gave me transportation fare, right? But I'm saying that I single-handedly, do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like, saw myself through. It became a relief to them. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying to you. So it's very important to understand that do what they want you to do. Go to school is not bad. Come on. Is that not true? It's not bad.
Sir.
He has exposed you, exposed me. Many of the things we know today is because of the interaction and exposure we had in school. But ensure you are doing your own on the side. Ensure you are doing your own. Because later, you have heard stories now. Don't be a victim. You have heard stories of people who they said they should not do music, but they went to go and rent an apartment somewhere and they stocked studio equipment, and they'll tell them they are going to school for classes. From classes they'll go and make songs. Today their parents are saying, I'm happy for you, I'm proud of you, you're my child. Our popular Vicky James also shared the same story. The mother told her to leave Andy work alone and focus on school. She was so passionate about school that she had to drop out. She was so passionate about handiwork, she had to drop out. Today, she's one of the highest paid fashion designer in Africa, if not the world, but let's say Africa. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
One of her name is on Forbes list of the youngest, established, person. The mother is happy today. She's, we are very close to. If I don't say something, you saw the mother the other day when she came for, mommy's birthday.
Yeah.
She's happy now. She's excited. But at that time, she didn't know that someday our child is going to make a dress for 1 million or 2 million. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So that's it.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay. After this question, I'm going to be reading. I'm going to take the very last question. So, somebody said here, okay, sir, my question is, if you have the gift of dancing and you are good at it, so you can use, and you are used to dancing hip-hop music, and now you are now a new creation man, does it mean you should now throw away your gift? Sir, I need your advice.
All right, first of all, dancing is just a special skill or an ability. Do you understand that? It's not like it's and it's something that can be learned. It's not like I don't want to call it a gift. A gift sounds more spiritual. Dancing is not a spiritual gift. It's an ability. It's what you just realize that it comes easy with you. You understand? Dancing comes easy with you. Now, if you think that you want to build a path on dancing, that's not a problem. There's no problem at all with that. But now, because you are now a believer, you can now select what and what you dance to. It's your choice. You can select what and what you dance to. Do you understand that? And by that, number one, if we have, when we talk about hip-hop pop is a genre of music, not necessarily worldly. For example, now we have gospel Afrobeat.
Yeah.
Before now, Afrobeat was, in quotes, it was called worldly, but it wasn't really worldly. It's just a genre, just like reggae.
Yes.
Reggae there's no genre that is God church genre. The reggae that you sing today, give me reggae song. You know, the reggae that you sing today is not from church. It's from is it Jamaicans?
Yeah.
You understand? The Bob Marley is the other guys, and I love Bob Marley. Hallelujah.
Right.
I love Bob Marley. I grew up with my father playing us reggae music and blues. So Bob Marley and all the Jamaican, Rastafaras mixed with my blood. So anywhere I am, when I hear a reggae jam, it resonates. It brings nostalgia. So that's by the way. But I'm just saying that give me a song today that is a gospel genre. There's no beats. There's no, if you're a drummer, calypso, this one, makosa. Makosa is not gospel. Remember that song? That's where makosa came from. We play in church.
Yeah.
This kind God, we play makosa. So why do we not say no? That one is the word. Let's do church home. Which one is church home? Where did you get to? Where you heard? Are you seeing what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that no phone is a godly phone. You are the one that uses that tool towards a godly purpose. Are you making sense of what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Before now, remember there was a sect of people who believed that internet was the devil's thing.
Yes, sir.
But now they are the one preaching online now.
Yeah.
They are airing their pastors' messages online. They have seen that it's a tool. So all these genre of songs, they are a tool to be able to bring out what you want to bring out and channel it in the right direction, right? So now today we have Afrobeat songs. They are fast. They are the type of pop songs that you can dance to. Do you understand? Take them, refurbish it, dance to it, create new dance steps to them. Remember this, I have a very big God.
Yeah.
People are dancing to it. This one you are doing does not make it worldly. No. So which one is really church dance? Most of the dance you dance in church are even traditional dance. Do you know that? Maybe someday we'll talk about dance, music, and all that. Most of the things you dance, they say they are shaking their waists. It's a traditional dance.
Yeah.
It's not a church dance. Traditional. It's indigenous. So that means you are telling me you are dancing your tribal dance for God. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So this whole thing, we are the ones that really makes things complicated. So you can dance to a gospel afro, because you want to dance to the right lyrics. Imagine you are dancing and then what is in the lyrics is boom boom, this one, you understand, sex and all that. How do you think you are passing the right message? You are passing the wrong message because you are following the people to scatter the system. So why not dance to the right message? That you are dancing, but people are hearing the words and it's meaning something. It's something beyond. It might not be church. Okay, let me categorize it now. There is Afrobeat, that's the church gospel lyrics. Then there is ungodly, the one that has polluted words, polluted lyrics, polluted things. You understand what I'm saying to you? You talk about the most vulgar things. And then there's one that is secular. Secular does not mean worldly or ungodly. Secular just means worldly. Does that make sense? Not ungodly. Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Worldly. That means, for example, now, do you know this my church is this my clothes is secular?
Yeah.
I'm not the only person who has it.
Yeah.
There are billions of people, and the person that even did this might not even be a Christian. So it's a secular thing. This microphone, everything we are using here is secular.
Yeah.
Is the word. Secular means that it cuts across all systems and stratas. Am I making sense?
Yes,
But then there is an ungodly. Ungodly, for example, now, ungodly is I wear a t-shirt that says Gouda, the best drink. And I don't drink. I don't support drinking. So why should I wear that?
Yeah.
That becomes what?
Ungodly.
Because the message, I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes.
Or a caption that says, I don't trust God. That's no longer secular. That's what? Ungodly. Because it is pushing something. Or something that has a sign and an image that is close to Hindu, Baphomet, Illuminati, something more demonic, something more. Do you understand that? That's not Christ. That is ungodly. But they're secular. For example, now, your national anthem is not godly. It's secular.
Yeah.
But do you sing national anthems?
Yes.
Why don't you say, God forbid. You sing national anthems, is that true? Happy birthday to you.
Secular.
You sing it and you're crying. Happy birthday. Is that a gospel song?
Yes, sir.
Is that a church song? That's secular. But is that ungodly?
No.
It doesn't contain vulgar words.
Yeah.
You know this song? We will defend our land. We believe in Nigeria. And we all will get there. That
Yes.
song, I love the song. When I want to remember how great Nigeria is, I just remember the lines of those songs. That song is not a gospel song, but it's a secular song because it's about Nigeria. For example, now there's a song that sings, "It's green, it's greener on the other side. The land is
Green. Yeah.
It's green. Oh, the land is green. It's green. Can't you see?" Imagine that you are hearing as a pastor coming and I'm saying that song. The land is this man. The land is green. What should I say? The land is blue. It's green.
Yeah, it is.
Do you follow what I'm saying to you? It is not ungodly, but it's secular. It's about Nigeria. It's about the land being productive. Do you understand that? Yes. So there are songs that are out there that they are not ungodly. Do you get that? For example, now, this song by Michael Jackson that says,
We are the one.
"We are the one, we are the children, we are the ones to make it better. So let's not give. Because we are all a part of God's, big family."
Yeah.
That lyrics, I don't know. Now I can't come to the church.
Sing
Obviously,
it.
I come and be singing, "We are the one." No, Pastor should send me out. But I should be able to go on the way and I hear the song and I'm singing along.
Yeah.
We are the children. It is not ungodly. It is secular, not ungodly. There's a difference. For example, now, do care. I can't wait to see you. She was singing for her child, her baby, our born child. You don't expect me to be giving birth. I'm doing naming ceremony for my child, and I'm recording my child, and they ask me what song should we use in the background, and I want to do "All My Life You Have Been." Hello, if you want to do that, no problem. That's your choice. I don't want to do that. I want to do care, and that does not make me ungodly. That's a song that was sung for the child. My child, I cannot wait to see you. You are the angel of my life, something like that. You know, do you understand that? She wrote the song for the child, and I like the song. Hope you know that the song that Moses Bliss sang for the wife, it's not a gospel song.
Yes, sir.
You can't come and sing that to church in church and say, what's that song again, please? Someone should help me. I think I'm learning this Q&A. Because I'm saying some very sensitive things I've never said.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. You know that song you sang now? I spend my life with you and all that. It's not like a gospel song. You can't come and sing that. Hallelujah, spend my life. No. But if I'm going to be getting married, you don't expect me to sing to my wife and say, you are Alpha and Omega. I don't understand. Is she Alpha and Omega? No. We worship you, my God.
God forbid.
I will sing songs that reveal love, that shows you that, see, I can go the extra mile for you. Do you understand that? I will do the impossible for you. I will sing songs like that. So don't expect me to put my wife's pre-wedding photo, me and wife, and what you see there in the background song is hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, you are not serious. If you comment rubbish, I will block you. Rubbish. I'm not going to do that. And because I'm a pastor, doesn't make it different.
Exactly.
Do you understand that? We're going to put a nice song that talks about love. Do you understand that? A nice song. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So we will not come and say, no, we are believers. Let us sing our own love song. Our own love song. No. Don't say our own. Sing a good love song. Don't say our own. There's no gospel love song. Stop being stupid. There's no gospel birthday. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're singing your own. You're singing a good one that has a good lyrics or the way you want it to sound. Even the most spiritual, when they sing happy birthday, it touches it. Happy birthday. You say, that's the money. Sing something else. Elohim birthday. Or what should we sing? Are you following what I'm saying to you? Yes. So all those things, we need to end all those things. There are some that are secular, but are not what?
Godly.
But there are some that are ungodly.
Yeah.
That's what you want to tell me. There are some that are ungodly. Don't come and sing it around me. Because of sometimes they are ungodly because of what the person who is doing that represents.
Yes, sir.
Naramali, he said, she'll be a modesty. I don't understand. Say you don't know you are modesty before. But you need Naramali that is.
Yeah.
So imagine now, because I don't want to project who I don't believe his values. I cannot come and my members just say, Teshumale, because they will know who sang the song.
Yes, sir. Immediately.
And when they know who sing the song, is it that you are telling us that this person's standards are right?
Yeah.
I cannot be singing because it's contradicting to my belief. I cannot be singing. I hope they don't disclaim these things. But I cannot be singing. You know, there's this Bonner boy that says we are common persons. I like the tone. I like the guitar line. I'm a musical person. But I can't sing that because I'm not a common person.
Yeah.
Are you getting what I'm trying to say now?
Yes.
I'm not a common person. But I can sing this song. Ireo was this Adekunle Gold and Semi Ire, Adekunle sang. It was not Ire that he sang. Who sang? Yeah. I'm going somewhere, wish me well. I can sing that. Do you understand that? I'm going away from my family, I'm going away from home, wish me well. I can sing that. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say to you. So all those things, it's just like one day somebody posted this song. I'm a king, I'm a champion.
Yeah.
So someone else, hey, Pastor, they sing champion. I say, wait, what do you want it to sing? That's a loser. You want it to sing God, that's a loser. I don't know if you get it. Was that line that he just wanted, just that line, that's what he wants to hear. I'm a king. I'm the best my generation has ever seen. But imagine you now pick a line that contradicts what you believe. That says we go die one day, nobody be anything. Life is nothing, we are useless. We could just. You are now worldly. There's not like secular again. Or there's no God. God, but was it not the Khalid that sang God did it? We didn't think that we were going to, but he did. I've seen pastors use it as their, and it's not bad because God did.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if I'm making any sense, but we can't sing it in church. We cannot change it. Change the lyrics and say, God, God. No, off the gen, off the sound. Don't do that. Can go and do it out. I don't know if you get what I'm saying to you. Yes. But do it outside. There are songs we sing for our parents. For example, this sweet mother. They are not gospel songs, they're secular, but they are not ungodly. I no go forget you for the suffer where you suffer for me. But don't sing it in church. Sweet pastor, hey, no, sing new one. Do you understand? So that's it. So you can dance your dance, but be careful of the words. The things that project. Don't just dance because it's raining. Listen to the word. Do you understand?
Wow. What an amazing session. Thank you so much, Pastor. Okay, to the person that asked the question and some, I hope you got a clarity. Like, the answer is just straight. If you're a new creation man, represent who you are. And then you can still dance, like Pastor has rightly said, but represent Jesus in that dancing, okay? All right, so thank you so much. Wow, the online viewer, please, I'm sure you want Q&A session with Pastor Victor again, right? Like, please, I want you to jump it on the comment section and say, we want more. We want more. This is so powerful. Like, thank you so much, Pastor Victor. Thank you for giving us clarity. Thank you for shedding light to our hearts. Wow, amazing. Okay, for people that just joined us, this was a beautiful session. We are about to end with Pastor Victor Asuquo, the Q&A session, and by the grace of God, he was able to give answers to questions that we have in our heart. So I know we still have extra questions, but this was scheduled to just be for an hour, and we are ending now. So yes, and Pastor needs to rest too. So please, we want you to like our page, comment, share, so that everyone, we have many believers, especially these particular last questions that Pastor answered, and we had career questions too. People really want answers to this thing. So if you're opportune to be here and you got clarity, do not hesitate to share this. Let the world know the truth. And as you know the truth, the scripture says what? You are being set free. So ensure you share this and let people be free through you. Yes. So thank you so very much once again. This is Light and Perfection Assembly, and we are so happy to host our dear pastor, our lead pastor, Pastor Victor Asuquo. Thank you so much, sir, for honoring the invitation. God bless you, sir. Okay, the online viewers, see you again. God bless you. Bye.